wonderful ideas. When Evan spoke last week, he gave some wonderful ideas that I wanted to reiterate about being present and having a wonderful mindset and taking care, that we meditate, we pray, we exercise, we eat right every day. It's all a part of a health program. It's not just supplements, eating around the edge of the grocery store, the vegetables mostly and the protein, rather than all the processed food that give us all bad stuff, and low glycemic eating, lots of fiber, great water, hydration, all of these things, the stretching and all of that. It's all a part of the health program. So he gave a marvelous talk about that, and Cindy had some tremendous notes that she sent out. So if you didn't hear his message last month, you might want to have her send, if you didn't see the notes that she sent out, she did a great job, better than the notes I took.
Oh, thank you. I try to be very organized and efficient, so I try to write everything down, but if I can't, then I just have to record the video and then just share that with the group.
So anybody have any questions for me?
I kind of do. Do you have gummy vitamins and stuff for adults or only for kids?
The only one that we have for the adults is that omega one.
Okay.
We do have, though, we have a liquid which only has iron in it. It's called Liquili. Tastes a little bit like prunes, I think. Some people use it as a cough medicine. We have Liquili. We have ones called Citra Boost, which is a powder, and it also has the probiotics in it, and you mix a little bit of it in orange juice or some water or something and drink it. So we have some other options, but I don't know how the rest of you take pills. If I try and take pills with water, I drink the water, the pill is still in my mouth. Mm-hmm. So I have them by my plate, and I chew up a bite of food and get it all ready to go and throw in a couple, and it goes down with the food. So you might try that. We do have like chewable C, and we have some chewable calcium. Trying to think if we have any. Oh, we have some defend and resist, which is echinacea and other things for once in a while when you think you're getting a tickle in your throat and you want to get rid of it. Those can be chewed, but then too, some people like them, some people don't.
Yeah, I know sometimes it's hard for some people to swallow the bigger vitamins.
Mm-hmm. And well, that's why I don't think many of ours are not as big as some I've seen in other situations.
Yeah, even like fish oil, some of them are huge, and some of the vitamins out there are hard and very big. So that's why I was asking about the gummy.
Right. Yeah. Well, and there too, our vitamins are you could cut them in two, take part of it at a time. If you put our multivitamin in water, it'll make a little pile of meal in a short order. They all are made to be dissolved and assimilated and used. Now, I wouldn't want to drink it, but theoretically, I guess you could crush it, put it in some applesauce or something. Put it in the blender with your smoothie and grind it up and drink it. I guess that old saying, where there's a will, there's a way.
Right. Thank you.
Can you say a little more about the energy powder? Was it? What?
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, my daily energy usually comes from my Life Shake that I take for breakfast every morning. But this one that I mentioned, that is more to take the place, I think, of something like this. that the young people
Okay.
are into. But because it is, it has 100 milligrams of caffeine. So it is an energy drink but it's natural from natural ingredients. I can't think of the word. It is green coffee bean extract. It is Chardonnay grape extract. It is green tea extract. So they're natural substances rather than, just coffee right off the ground. And it does not, that one that I picked up the other day, actually picked it up off the curb. It was empty. And I'll tell you a secret. If you ever do something like that, don't sit it on your cupboard without washing it first. Because I walked back into the kitchen later and there was ants all over my cupboard. Came out of the can. But anyway, so I washed it really good. But I wanted to see what was in it, and I don't buy that kind of thing. So I noticed there was like 4 different kinds of sugar in it. And ours has a little bit of natural cane sugar, only 3 grams of, so it's not full of sugar. And has a little bit of a derivative of stevia. So it tastes good. But we also have, we have a sports product that's a chewable energy gummy. I forgot about that one, Cheryl. And but this one is, I think it's intended for those people who really are stressed out and need some energy for their daily life or for their game that they're going to play, something like that. The Life Shake is, this is my daily breakfast. And you can't read those little things probably, but it's 20 grams of protein, 6 grams of fiber, 24 vitamins and minerals, non-GMO, vegan, gluten-free, dairy-free, low glycemic index, good omegas, and it comes in a soy base or in a pea base. So you shake it up or you put
Does
it in
it
your
come in different flavors?
The soy comes in rich chocolate, French vanilla, strawberry, or cafe latte, and the pea protein comes in the rich chocolate or the French vanilla, and they're about 3 1/4 or something like that serving at the membership price.
Thank you.
So where are you ladies in your journey with your fibromyalgia, or do you not have it? Or did you used to have it and you don't have it now? Or is it new, or is it old? Or tell me about yourself, because I don't have that malady. I just had that introduction to arthritis, which I don't have anymore. And I had a meniscus repair 6 or 7 years ago. So that's it. But I know that you have some really difficult days and some days not so difficult. So if you'd like to share with me, I'd love to know more about you ladies.
Okay, well, you already know who I am, Natalie. So I don't know if you want me to share with you guys again or just have, okay. Well, I'm Cindy. I'm the president of the Fibromyalgia Support Group. I've had fibromyalgia for about 10 years now. I think I was 27 back then when I was first diagnosed. I'm 37 now, so yes, 10 years. I'll be 38 in February. It's just been a roller coaster, like figuring out what was wrong with me back then. I went from different doctors to doctors, and they couldn't figure out what was wrong. They just said, oh, it's all in your head, or you have to go see a psychiatrist. I'm sure all of you ladies can understand.
Mhm.
A couple nurses or doctors thought I was drug seeking, like I wanted more pain medicine because I was in so much pain. And that was wrong because I just wanted an answer to why I was having all these issues, the headaches, the pain, everything else. Finally, an internist, and I think he specializes in drug seeking or drug addiction. He said, Cindy, I don't think you're drug seeking at all. Your tests turned out, they were not positive. They're all negative. And I think your illness, you have something called fibromyalgia. My reaction was from the hospital bed, what on earth is fibromyalgia? I have no idea what that is. So he explained what that was, and I felt relieved because I finally had an answer, and I was not like going crazy and stuff like that. So, it's just been a rough journey, but I'm still here. And one of the members told me about this group a couple years ago, I guess, maybe in 2017. I was at the local library and we were doing a Tai Chi exercise. I think there's a guest speaker there showing us different exercises to help with balance and stuff. The little girl, the lady, I think her name's Joyce, she comes up to me after class. She says, Cindy, I know you mentioned you have fibromyalgia. Would you like to join a group in Garden City? So I said, sure, why not? So I came in and I just fell in love with the group. I'm still here. And Ruth Ann, she's the former president of the group. She made me vice president not too long after I joined because I was doing such a good job sharing articles, helping her find speakers, and just whenever she was out of town, I would fill in for her and just help her relax a bit. So she's like, you're vice president. And then last year in 2020, pandemic, we met up at the parking lot in June, I believe. She said, Cindy, you're taking over. Well, actually, before that, she told me I was taking over, but we were meeting at the parking lot so she can give me all the stuff, like the books and everything she had with the group. And she said, that's it, you're taking over and this is your group. I said, wow, I was so astonished because I would assume one of the older members of the group, like Cheryl, for example, or anybody else would take over. She said, nobody volunteered and you're doing such an amazing job, with everything you're doing. So I trust you with the group, and that's where I am. And I'm still learning how to fix myself, learning new things to get healthy again. Natalie is a lifesaver and she's a good resource for my group. And Evan, I've been working with Evan, the fitness speaker from last time, with my nutrition. I just realized recently my nutrition has been really, really poor because I've been having really bad fatigue, more so than usual. Really, my pain has been really intense and everything else. And my energy levels would just be, I would take a nap after 11 or 12 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm like, that's it, I'm tired. Then we met about maybe a week or two ago. We started to go over what was wrong with me, and I was deficient in certain things, and came up with a fitness plan and started some of his shakes, the vanilla shakes, and they've been really helpful. I mean, I use that for a snack and stuff. And then he told me I need to have more fruits and vegetables in my diet. And so that's been helping, having more nutritious foods, and that's helping me with my fibro as well. So, but it's one step at a time, he said. I'm not going to get better overnight. It's going to take, a little bit of progress, and plus the exercise helps too. Movement is really very important for fibromyalgia. I know it's difficult when we're having our bad days, but it's important to not just sit. We have to move around. So, and that's my story. I could go on and on and on, but I'm gonna share the room with other people that like to share their story. So whoever is next, go for it.
I put my information in the chat, so if any of you would
okay.
like to put your information there,
Okay.
that would be available for us too.
I guess I could go next. I'm Cheryl. I'm the vice president and helper of Cindy, but although she does such a fantastic job, I don't have to do a whole lot. But I've been a member of the group for many years. I first started having pain probably around 40 or maybe longer than that. I just turned 67 yesterday. And so I've
Birthday.
had it like 27 years now. I do have a lot of pain, a lot of different symptoms with it. And sometimes it's really frustrating because I'm not a person that likes to take a lot of medication. Like, for instance, I usually just take over the counter medicine, like ibuprofen or Tylenol. But then I found out if you take too much of that, it's not good for your liver. And just recently I've had liver testing and I got fatty liver. So I really need to watch my diet. I kind of like Cindy, I need to change and eat more vegetables and fruit. And my husband and I have been walking a lot. He just recently retired last year and we've been traveling a lot. So it's like we keep active, but we love to go out to eat. I think that's another subject. He's a great cook and I like to clean up. He cooks, but it's kind of like I know what changes I need to make, but it's just doing it. You can't always, when you go out to a restaurant, when you're traveling, you can't judge what they're putting in it or what type of food, salt or butter and stuff like that they're using to cook the food. So, but at home we do okay. But it gets frustrating at times, the amount of pain. And I sometimes think, why me? Why did I get this? But I look around and I notice people with a lot, in wheelchairs and stuff like that. At least I'm active. I'm able to get up in the morning. I've been pretty healthy. And we're able to get out and enjoy life. I just have to take better care of myself and lose a little bit of weight and get more healthy as far as my food intake. So I do take vitamins and supplements, but I need to learn a little bit more about what else is more healthy for my diet. I don't know if it's a nutritionist or something, to talk to me about it, but that's where I am right now is I want to keep active and I want to keep going and not take as medication for this. So I do love swimming. We belong to a club. I like going to water aerobics and walking around in the water. And I got 4 grandkids now and I want to keep up with them. I want to be able to get on the floor and play with them and not feel like I'm groaning to get up. But so that's about me. So nice to meet everybody.
Okay, I'll go next. I'm Dorothy. My story is actually very similar to everyone else's. I've had fibromyalgia for probably about 30 years now. And when I first got fibromyalgia, like everybody else, I went to numerous doctors. Nobody could tell me what was wrong. It was all in my head and all of this. So it was very, very frustrating. I would spend hours sometime. At that time, there were a lot of bookstores around. I would spend my lunch hour sometime in the bookstore going through books, trying to figure out. That was before information was even widely available online. And I would spend time in the bookstore going, seeing if I could find out something, what's wrong with me. So I actually kind of diagnosed myself before I got the diagnosis from doctors because, like 30 years ago, they were still saying, that it wasn't real for the most part. So finally, I did find a doctor who said, not only do you have fibromyalgia, you also have chronic fatigue. So whoopee. So anyway, I've dealt with it. Like Cheryl, I don't like to take a lot of medications. A lot of medications that they, experiment with, they make you groggy or, just, and I don't like that feeling. They make you groggy or just have a lot of side effects. So I try to do more natural things. I've been to Cleveland Clinic. I've been to U of M. I've been to a couple of different alternative medicine doctors trying to find some things that work for me. So I'm on a regimen of different vitamins and supplements, and I have good days and bad days. Happy to say I probably have more good days than bad days, thank goodness. But some of the bad days can be pretty bad. But I try to enjoy life, and when I look around at other people and see there are people worse off than me, I'm thankful that I can still get out and do things and enjoy my I also have 4 grandkids and enjoy them. So I try not to complain. Some days the pain is just like background noise, it's there, but I don't pay attention to it. And other days it's like, okay, I'm gonna let you know today I'm here, so. So overall, like I said, I try not to complain too much, and I've, truly learned to live with it and manage it better. I used to freak out every time I got a different symptom because, oh, what's wrong now? But now, I kind of learned to manage it better and pace myself when the symptoms flare up. Like now, whenever the seasons change, my symptoms flare up. So that's my story.
I'll go next, if that's okay. So my story is probably very different. I'd been very dedicated to my career, and I was in banking and branch manager, and I was a superstar. And there was an awful lot of stress related to that. And I changed organizations in 2008, but I started to see some cracks in my emotional side. The doctor had already said that I had 7 of the 10 points, but I really wasn't ever taken out for a day. I never really, I was always very fatigued. I noticed that I was as tired in the morning as I was going to bed at the end of the day, that the thought of getting up in the morning was difficult. And so a lot of things started to happen, but I developed pain under my right rib cage. And so that I ended up in the ER, and they told me that they thought it was my gallbladder. So they took the gallbladder out. And then, I was 3 weeks off work. I went back to work. I was back to work a week, and then the pain came back sort of tenfold. Anyway, to make a long story short, after several GI specialists and different modalities, I ended up at a pain clinic in Hamilton, Ontario. And he told me, and I was on all kinds of drugs. I was on opioids. I was on many kinds of opioids. I was on gabapentin. I was on all kinds of different types of medication. And the pain specialist said, well, what we normally do is we will keep you on gabapentin and we'll up the dose. You're not certainly at the highest dose, but we'll keep you on the doses until you go loopy. That's our sign that, right? Like that's our sign that whatever. And I tried CBD oil and all those sorts of things. And we discussed my history. And he said to me, you have fibromyalgia. And I said, but it's one spot in my body. I can find that spot. It's always in the same spot. I don't have other symptoms like what you read about. And he said, no, it's fibromyalgia. And I should read up from this particular person because there's a link between fibromyalgia and childhood trauma. And it appears as though yours is in a particular organ, and it's deep in the body, and it's got something to do with your childhood trauma. So going from there, I was very discouraged. I was discouraged with how he spoke to me about how we just keep increasing the pain meds until you go loopy and so on. I mean, I had insurance companies telling me, well, just get the doctor to increase your hydromorphone so you can go back to work. And I can tell you, you know, experiencing all those things was extremely discouraging. What ended up happening, believe it or not, a few years later, I ended up in a psychiatrist's office. I ended up in a psychologist's office who told me, was really interesting because he said to me, you know that your past and your present collided. So unresolved childhood trauma started to become present. And so I ended up responding in certain ways like a little kid, right? That I would respond. It was really interesting. I've learned a lot. So what ended up happening is it's another company. I found a company. I had tried everything. And through this company, I am now able, through the work that I do with this company and the products that I use with this company, I'm able to manage my symptoms. So I'm not, it's always there. I have it every single day. Some days are worse than others. But whereas I was in bed for 5 out of 7 days a week or longer, I'm now able to say, okay, you know, I'll take this and then I'll go lay down. And in a couple of hours, I'll be able to function again. So, and I have noticed that food is a major component because along with all of these things, it's usually not one thing in isolation. So, you know, there were sugar sensitivities, gluten sensitivities, you know, all kinds of things. So they said it's almost like there's so many things going on with you that it's really, we have to take one step at a time. So that's where I'm at, and that's what we're working on. So I'm managing it. I find I'm extremely exhausted most of the time, but there we are. That's it.
Well, thank you for sharing your story, Joan. Appreciate it. Well, Evan popped in our room. Hi, Evan.
I have a question, Joan. When you said alternative, did you ever investigate functional medicine? Was that who you were with in Cleveland Clinic?
I didn't go to Cleveland Clinic. I went
I was the
because
one
I'm
who
in
said I went to
Canada.
Oh, that was Dorothy. I'm sorry, I'm
Dorothy.
getting your stories mixed up. Dorothy, were you with functional medicine in Cleveland?
No, they didn't call it functional medicine. They just called it alternative medicine. But I
Oh,
guess it had a
was-
functional component. Yeah.
Do you know the name Mark Hyman?
Yes. I've read
Yeah,
his books and
Okay, because I understand he has a clinic with functional medicine. And I always wondered what they would do with one of these kind of situations.
yes, I've read some of his books. I'm familiar with him. It's very helpful because they try to find the root of the problem,
Right.
and treat the root instead of treating the symptoms.
Yes,
And
exactly.
so, so I did find it very helpful. Beaumont Hospital actually has an alternative medicine clinic. I've been there before.
Oh.
I've had acupuncture. I've had, you know, all kinds of treatments. Some help and some don't. And I go to chiropractor on a regular basis. Yeah.
Was it which campus of Beaumont has the alternative?
I know Royal Oak does, but there's a couple
Okay.
other branches that have it as well. I went to Royal Oak.
Okay, thank you. That's good to know.
I was just gonna say our session is almost out of time. Well, we got 9
no.
minutes. No, that's okay. We got 9 minutes left until we have to move to session number 3. So we can still chat.
Can I ask a question? Do any of you ladies with fibromyalgia also have IBS?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, that
that's
was
another thing.
diagnosed with me as well. I went over to Harper, Henry Ford Hospital, because in Canada to see a specialist, it was 6 months. But to go to the States, it was 2 weeks. I was able to just go online and book. Because I was on opioids, he diagnosed narcotic bowel syndrome. That's what he diagnosed, narcotic bowel syndrome. Well, after seeing the psychologist, he was saying, is it really benefiting you to be like, do you feel like you're living your life? And so it was really the psychologist that said, I really don't think that this is of any value to you. I mean, you may think it's of value to you, but it really isn't helping you. And so he suggested I go back to my doctor. So within 6 weeks, we were off everything. We with doctor's help, we just got off it. And then we discovered that no, it wasn't narcotic bowel syndrome at all, because we still have it. So, but there is, I'm with Doterra, and Doterra has, in case you're interested, because they are in Michigan, but not in Canada yet, integrative health services. They're called Meridian, and they believe in integrative medicine, using, everything that's available in order to support somebody from a health perspective. Like I said, and the border's been closed. So, but having the opportunity, if I had the opportunity to go, I would certainly go, just to see what they say. Yeah.
So what is it called?
It's called Meridian.
How is that connected with Doterra?
The Doterra has, it's their centers. So it's integrative health services. And so they believe so strongly in the power of plant medicine for health purposes that they have set up with allopathic, conventional doctors, chiropractors, all types of medicine to be able to look, when we talk about the root cause, and nutrition and everything to work with the body, and essential oils. So it started through them. They have their medical doctors and all of that through them. But like I said, I haven't investigated it a lot, because we just don't have it I don't have it on this side of the border. It's on that side of the border. But I'm hearing good things out of it. But
yeah, Doterra is a network marketing company like Shackley that
yes,
that has, but like you say, they're more into the essential oils than other supplements. They might have other things. I don't know what all they have, but I know they major in the essential oils. Mm-hmm.
They have it probably is not the right forum to have this conversation. So I will leave it at that, because today is your day. And
that's fine.
Yeah. And no, I don't.
No, I do
they've been
Shackley, and
beneficial
Evan
to
does
me.
something else, and they're all out there. I figured that we're all in this together, because we're all helping people with their health, and
Right.
some things work for some person and some things work for another. And
Right.
I would be delighted to meet with any of you personally and give you samples and let you know what we have, and then you have the capacity to choose which direction you want to go. I mean, that's just the way life is.
Thanks for letting me be in here today. And Cindy, everybody else, I really apologize for being late, because I've seen Natalie present before, and she's awesome. So I'm sure it was really good. As a health coach and fitness trainer, this is what my motto is. And looking at how does your body work? Your body was meant to move, and your body was born to accept nutrition, nourishing its body, and drinking more water and eating healthy foods, and really looking at how supplementation really will support that healthy movement and nourishing your body. It was just stated like Joan, like until you actually went to a psychologist or psychiatrist, they kind of opened up some things and opened up for you. Because that's the first thing, mindset, really to get prepared to take this on. because a lot of stuff, I mean, we're all under a lot of stress lately, last 2 years, traumatic stress,
Mhm.
anxiety stress, everything impacts the body. And as you nourish yourself, drinking more water and nourish with healthy foods, then you can take it on. And I just was in a presentation with a functional nutritionist talk about testing. We do testing as well. But the thing with that is being said is like your body gets resistant to taking the nourishment because you've never taken it before the right way. And so your body shuts down. So then these things start to happen. And then the certain testing will allow you access to say, okay, this is what really is going on in your body. And then you can help yourself. And then you have to be open to, I mean, it's like, I kind of say, I'm taking the fear out of exercising to take on your health because everything is important, everything. More importantly is your mindset to be accepting that you loved and you love yourself. You can this is part of taking care of yourself. And most of us are beaten down by so many other people that, well, we don't accept that. And you start taking on, I acknowledge everybody being here today to be part of this group and also taking on your health because it's not an easy challenge. But that's my little soapbox. So
Thank you, Evan. Oh, we're down to 2 minutes and 47 seconds, everybody. So I guess we should prepare for session number 3. I prepared 4 sessions just in case, but 3 should be enough, but it's up to you guys. So, so I guess we should probably.
Well, just before we go, I have a
Oh, sure.
question.
Go ahead.
Does anybody find that stress increases the amount of uncomfortableness or discomfort that you
Absolutely.
feel in the body?
Absolutely.
Because-
Absolutely, yes.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay,
With that being said, that's also too is water, hydration, nourishment, and also prayer or meditation helps you prepare for that so you can manage it. I mean, everybody has stress, right? It's just trying to look how we can manage it effectively. And, you know, we've all faced the stress over the last 2 years, exacerbated more